Welcome back to the RabbiSmith.org Passover series. Make sure to subscribe below, share the hope, spread the message. We see that Egypt was so sunken into its own exile, meaning to say we talk about how the Jewish people were put into slavery, but the Egyptians were also in exile. They were also in a mentality that the natural order of things was the height of existence. They were worshiping false idols. They were involved in their own pleasure. They thought that their human reasoning and science and philosophy was the ultimate, and therefore they themselves were in exile. It says that Paro, his knowledge, his das, was in exile. His whole thinking was in a place of exile. So this is what the cult of scarcity looks like. The cult of scarcity looks like people who walk around in fancy clothing and have all kinds of highfalutin thoughts, but in reality, and highfalutin language, but in the end of the day, they are really, really just running scared. And they're running scared, and they're trying to organize the world in order to suit their fears. And in order to try to manage their fears, they're trying to manage the world and to manage other people. So in order to break this, it wasn't a simple task. I mean to say, it wasn't just like go up to the person and say, the Egyptians, and say, hey, by the way, there's a better way. You could recognize that God Almighty exists, that there's abundance. You don't have to try to manage other people. You don't have to try to use population control measures to prevent the people that you are afraid of from coming into existence. And there is a good life that is connected to God Almighty in here, this world, and the world to come, in the afterlife. And it wasn't just that simple. In order to be able to break the ego, to break the commitment to their own short-sighted living for the moment, it was necessary for God Almighty to bring the 10 plagues upon Egypt. And those 10 plagues were not merely for the benefit of the Jewish people, that the Jewish people should be able to go, but it was really for the ultimate benefit and redemption of the Egyptians from their state of exile. And those 10 plagues, we know, are the plague of blood, plague of frogs, lice, wild animals, pestilence, boils, hail, locust, darkness, and the death of the firstborn. And each one of these plagues was a progressively more intimate experience and a deeper and deeper attack at the idolatrous thinking and ideologies of the Egyptians. And so therefore we have to understand that. We have to see that it was necessary for the Egyptians to be shaken loose from their way of thinking, a way of looking at the world, which part of the consequences of their thinking and their fearfulness and their cult of scarcity was to enslave the Jews and to execute population control measures against the Jews. That was the reflection, that was the implementation, that was the natural outgrowth of their deranged ideology. That was the consequence of the deranged ideology. So the order for them to let the Jewish people go, they first had to have a wake-up call as to the deranged scarcity mentality, so that they could then realize that there is a God Almighty that's higher than the natural order, and that we don't make calculations based on what we see in the natural order. Rather, there is a God Almighty that's beyond the natural order, and that is the God that was speaking through Moses, our teacher, to Paro, to tell Paro, it's time to wake up to this reality. It's time to let the Jewish people go, that they may go to Mount Sinai to further advance the well-being of all humanity by bringing the Torah down on Mount Sinai from God Almighty as a message of hope and instruction and a blueprint for creation, that humanity as a whole, in order to advance, it was necessary to break the stranglehold of the short-sighted thinking of Egypt and its ideologies and its sciences and its philosophies and its culture and its mentality of scarcity. It needed to break that to allow the Jewish people to blossom, to bring all of humanity to the higher and greater sight and vision to see that there's nothing besides God Almighty. And it is a creation of abundance. It's a creation of beauty. It's a creation of love. It's a creation of possibility and infinite possibilities for the benefit of every single human being. Sign up at RabbiSmith.org, subscribe below, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Happy and kosher Passover.